about it. Look, mile like 3-6 pulled up, ski trip cold winter. All my niggas eating good. I remember when we had no dinner. West side.
Switch that V6 for the EV, ride it around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me, sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world of makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see.
What's going on, family? It's your boy Damon back in the building. We Talk Hawks TV. We Talk Hawks Daily. Y'all know what time it is. Listen, y'all see the bottom. Y'all see the title. We about to interview. I don't like to call it an interview. We're going to get to know the youngest. I like to call him the youngest in charge. The first, if y'all didn't notice, Analyst is the first person to ever come on the show. He is an original day one of the show. And for a hot minute, it used to just be me and Analyst up here going back and forth. Me, Analyst, maybe 5 people in the chat. And it used to just be me and Analyst. And I'll say some stuff that I know he probably won't say, but if you go back on the YouTube channel, you will see Analyst. You know how you did, and you know it's an old video because he's gonna still have his braces in. He's gonna have a little hat. He's gonna have a little Trae Young poster behind him. And the whole time, I'm gonna tell y'all something funny before I bring him on. I'm gonna tell you something funny. The whole time, nothing crossed my mind to think Analyst at the time was like 15 years old. 16 years old. Nothing. I don't know why I didn't even think that. But it just goes to show, like, hey, we both like the Hawks, and we needed to talk to people. You feel me? So just me and Analyst, and then the channel grew from there. So without further ado, let me bring on the youngest in charge, Mr. Young Atlanta Analyst. What's good, Analyst?
What's good, Damon? Good to be on here and do this interview, or as you say, getting to know me.
We want to get to know Analyst, man, because sometimes we all come up here post game or just regular shows, give our opinions. Games happen, and at one point, you was missing a couple shows, and people was like, "Where's Analyst?" Because they had a bone to pick. I can't remember because they did Matt the same way. I forgot you was doing something, but you wasn't on the show. And they was in the chat, where is Analyst at right now? Like, you had to say, and we can't forget about your homeboy, your favorite, your chat partner in crime. Shout out Kareem, Analyst, your chat partner, favorite chat member right there. But let's go ahead and get started. And so go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us something about yourself. Tell us something we don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Y'all know me as Analyst. I'm gonna start off with that. Yeah, if you don't know, I do not like Kareem at all. I don't know what it is about him. I don't know if it's his name. I don't know. It just pops out of me. But no. So I mean, a lot of people make the assumption I've seen in the chat and just separately. People think I'm the only child. I got two older brothers. One is married and one is engaged, 21 and 22. Got a nephew by the oldest brother. So I love my nephew. So most of the time when I'm not on here, I'm spending time with him. He's 3.5 months, and he is something else. But no, it's a great experience for me. When I get older and think about having kids, it's definitely going to give me a different perspective. And then like
getting a crash course on kids. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something that I learned about analysts, and I didn't. So let's see. This is 23. So January 22 is when analysts first. Basically, when I met analysts through this channel, and when he came on the show. And from then, probably until last month, here's something I just learned about analysts, maybe last month or the month before. I did not know analyst was 6 feet tall. Did not know that because, you know, when we open the shows, I assume besides Pharaoh, we assumed that everybody was, you know, is sitting down. But I did not know analyst was 16 years old. You 17 yet?
No, not yet.
16 years old and already 6 feet tall. Like that, I was like, really? I was like, that's crazy. I mean, I still can out hoop him. I don't care. You know, analyst got what? 10 and analyst got 3 inches on me, but it don't matter. Okay, because
so my dad, he's tall. I think he's like 6'4". My middle, it's funny, my oldest brother is the shortest. But you know, my middle brother, he's a little taller than me. He's 6'1". Kind of the piggyback off of what you were saying. Something I don't think I've ever said. When I first started watching your channel, Damon, you used to scare me because you used to be so enraged and so engaged. I used to be like, if I join this dude's channel, he gonna be going off. I was like, I don't want to type nothing. You know, he mad right now. You know,
heated.
And one of these, bro, I remember the first time. I was like, it was a show before, but I was like, I'm gonna get on the next show, and I was like. I was doing like all this preparing. I was like, all right, I gotta have this, and this. I was like, you know, I pick no arguments with him. You know, if you gotta agree with everything he says, you know, just agree with everything he says. You know, just you know, whatever you do not get in an argument with this dude. You know, but no, it was a great time. I think it was around the trade deadline. I think it was around the trade deadline. I saw it on one of your other so I think you were talking about yourself. With some of the other fans coming in, you know, some of the and then back then I forget the guy's name, but he used to always talk out of hindsight, you know, about our draft picks and different stuff like that. But no, and then, you know, used to have day ones in the chat. I know you talked about Jordan and Drummer Boy and Dave and, you know, all those guys. But yeah, something y'all didn't know at first. I was scared to come on the show. I was like, I'm not getting no yellow match with this dude because I like the debate, as y'all can see. I like the debate, but I was like, no chance I'm going at it with him. You know,
hey, that just show you. I mean, that's why I tell people, I be like, I'm emotionally invested. Now you see why I be in the garage, because I get, especially when we trick. Like you saw how mad I was when we lost that Spurs game.
Yeah,
I was angry, but I think no, that one the maddest one was. What's the time I was so mad. You was trying to say something. I was like, I ain't trying to hear shit analysts got to say.
That was in the playoffs. Halftime of game. I think it was game 5. It was a game we won though.
You came and said something, and that shit. Because you know what? In my head, I was like, analyst is trolling me right now. I know he's trolling me right. But you said I was heated. I was like, forget analysts got to say, forget analysts, wow. But you know, like you said, you know, we've been doing this for a minute now, over a year. So I mean, like, we already know each other's like, you already know how I am. That's why you be like, Damon, don't get emotional. Damon, go in there.
Hey, let me tell you how I know Damon is emotionally invested. When he went to that Spurs game, I heard very little about how much money he spent and very much more about how we tricked off the game. It's like, I don't care that I just spent, you know, probably, you know, close to it or over $1,000 on these tickets. We just tricked off this game. Like, that tells you, like, how emotionally invested he is in this team. Like, man, forget the money I spent. Man, I just watched us trick off this 24-point lead to an 18-win team. That's invested right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But so let's go. Let's dig a little deeper into analysts. So this gonna be a little different because you are a lot younger than everybody else. So you still got a whole bunch of stuff ahead of you, like school and whatnot. But I think I remember. I think I asked you at one point, but I'm gonna bring it back. Are you being 16 years old right now? I mean, we obviously know stuff can change in the future, but right now, are you aiming to have a career as a broad? Oh, here's something. If y'all didn't know, analyst is also a coach. So when he be up here lying and bullshitting about inbounds plays, don't have inbounds plays, he's tapping. Okay. But the question is this, analyst. At 16, are you now thinking about going? Because I'm assuming right now you're leaning as having a career somewhere in like sports. I don't know where yet. Are you leaning toward more coaching aspect right now, or are you leaning more towards being more like? Because I think I called you a young Stephen A. Smith at one point. Because you used to come with all the stats and all that stuff. Adam used to come prepared like we on Undisputed. You heard me? He used to have his papers lined up, notes. So are you leaning toward more coaching, which is being more interactive, hands-on players and whatnot? Or are you leaning more toward sports reporting, writing articles, journalist side? Or hell, I mean, at 16 and 6 feet, are you thinking about playing ball?
Okay, well, let me shoot that down real quick. No, I'm not. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and be 100% honest. For all y'all, I'm gonna air myself out. I can't play. Okay, I cannot play. Now I can train, I can develop, I can do all that. I cannot play. I'm not athletic. Well, I wouldn't say that. I'll take that back. But I finding the consistent for it's a lot of reasons why I don't play. But so the easy answer would just be whatever opportunity presents itself first. But I think with the coaching experience, knowing what all is entailed with it and what all is included with it and what different opportunities you can have, whether you go and you're a grad assistant and different stuff like that in college. If I had to say right now, I would want to go more towards the coaching aspect of it. Although I do love talking, I feel like I talk with such passion. I do so much digging and research, as if I'm coaching. I'm thinking about, okay, we're in this situation. What are we going to do? What's best for us to win? So I think, even the broadcasting or like reporting part, in a weird way, it kind of all is interconnected to, me wanting to coach. Now, there are rare opportunities, but as you can see, we got someone who got a job by eating chicken fingers at a scouting game. I had thought about working in the front office. Landry Fields can get in here and with little to no experience. Same thing, with a few the other executives. But I thought about that as well. Being able, like, I think over the past 2, 3, 4 years, really understanding the cap and understanding the different effects, the different hits of the CBA, and like to the point where hey, like if you just throw a trade out there, I may not tell you, but in my head I'm like, yeah, that's trade is not going to work. The money doesn't match, different stuff like that. So I think both sides, but I think coaching to me it's a little different than just it's really just different, other than having the enjoyment of up and down the sidelines. It's more of, it's just a love for the game. So when I'm watching like the Hawks and they're playing like bad basketball, it's different to me because I love the game. I know how the game is supposed to be played. For to tell you, all the basketball people, I've been around, I kind of know enough to be able to really pursue a successful career in coaching. But I mean, right now, I'm an assistant coach for high school basketball, which I love. But it's gonna open up a lot more doors, especially with me being older.
Yeah. So it sounds like you prefer the coaching aspect over like broadcasting and journalism because you get to, as a coach, assistant coach, whatever, your ideals or what you think, you get to implement those and actually see if they work. On the other hand, someone like me who don't want to do I don't want to do none of it. I just sit up here, run my mouth, and I can just assume, guess, estimate. But when you a coach, you can say, you know what? I think we should be doing this. Let me go put this plan into action and let me see if it works. Am I on the right path right there?
Yeah. And a lot of that stuff, it's like, it's established early on in the process. So, like during the summer, we got practice tomorrow. So, tomorrow morning. So, just being able to, hey, I got an idea, I want to run this back screen and different type of stuff, some people will say, it's folks say, it's just basketball, and it really is. It's just sometimes you gotta dress it up a little bit.
Okay.
You got to disguise certain
That sound like you. That sound like you was taking a shot at Foot on that one.
No.
If y'all didn't know, here's something else we learned on We Talk
Oh, yeah.
TV. Analyst Foot, who y'all see on the show and in the chat, Foot actually is it play with your dad or know your but he know Analyst dad. Give us the backstory on that.
So yeah, and it's funny.
And tell me how it went, because I just got off, because y'all must have did it after the show ended, because I logged off.
Yeah,
so
it's real funny how it happened. So and I would hear the name, because I used to ask my dad about all his, he'll just tell his old basketball stories. My dad, he actually played basketball on a scholarship at Virginia Tech. And so they went to the same high school. I used to hear his name, I didn't really think about it. But so yeah, they play high school basketball together for the same coach. And so Flood was just talking, he was just talking about basketball. And then it's really as simple as he was just like, he was just like, I play for a Hall of Fame coach, and I knew he was from the Metro Atlanta area. So I was just like, okay, who? And then he was like, I play for this. I was like, I know that dude. He's like, fam, I told him my dad played for him. And then he was like, oh, what year did that come? I was like, I don't really know. It's been so long ago. And so, man, listen, I told him, I was like, he was like, what's your last name? I told him my last name. He was just like, you MFer. He was like, you look like one of them too. He was like, man, he was like, because I used to always tell him, I was like, my dad, he gets so mad when Trey starts like not even like throwing up like the shots, but like when he plays, like there's times throughout the game where he'll play like unmotivated, like it doesn't look like he wants to take over the game.
When he out there bullshit, and I'll say it for
you. Exactly, and he don't want to take over the game because he's like, man, if I was playing, he's like, I take over the game. He's like, ain't nobody getting the ball from me. He said, I'm getting to my spot and I'm doing this. And Foot confirmed. He was like, yep, you're wheeling dad. He used to go out there. He used to go out there. He would pass the ball to nobody. Actually, my uncle, he used to play basketball with them as well. And then a real close friend of the both families. He's actually getting married. So I'll actually be meeting Foot this Saturday.
Okay.
I'll be at that wedding. But yeah, that's kind of how I found out. And it was just out of curiosity, I hear somebody, say that, it's like, okay, I know someone too. It just happened to be the same person, and the lines just happened to connect. So yeah, now he kind of got that on me now, he be like, Analyst, you like, stop it,
Shout out to Foot, because I can always go to Foot and be like, hey, Foot, is Analyst over here bullshitting as a coach? Is he bullshitting? Foot be like, yeah, he bullshitting. I'd be like, yeah, look, you definitely tried to bullshit me with that inbounds crap. We didn't have time to inbound. I was like, what?
Man, I was so mad at Trey. I was like, Trey, why would you say that? I was like, you it is, and then I think it was Matt. He was up here and he was up here talking, and he was like, Trey, he was like, Trey said we didn't have an inbound. So I was like, Matt, come on, bro. I was like, we just sat here already a whole show and defended Quinn. And because you were that was the shade, so you were like Quinn's on the clock, and I was just like, bruh, and I was just like,
let me tell you what's funny. I'm gonna tell you what's hilarious when I'm talking to you. No, when I say something, and let me tell you, when you have to disagree with Matt, it's the funniest thing, because I already know when you don't agree with him, because this is what you do, Analyst. I'm gonna give y'all, when y'all watching the show, when Analysts disagree with somebody, see, he won't say it at first. He does this. You see that hat he got on? He got another Atlanta Hawk hat he'll wear too, right?
Yeah,
he goes like this. This is how you know when he disagree with you. He'll go like this. He'll dip his head down to the camera, and he always grabs his hat, right? He'll grab his hat, and then he starts smiling because he know I'm coming his way. He know I'm coming his way.
I'll be trying to do anything. I'll be trying to turn the camera off. I'll be like, no, I ain't here. They're like, hey, where you at?
Hold up, my mind just went blank because you say the same thing. You be like, you smile, you laugh, you smile, and then, damn, what do you say? You'd be like, I cannot believe my mind just went blank.
I'm trying to think of where you're trying to go.
Because you always say the same thing. Because you'll be like this. You'll laugh, you'll smile. What do you say? You don't say, hold up, guys. You'll say, I can't.
Probably look or listen or something like that.
Oh, yeah. You'd be like, guys, listen. Okay. That's how I'm like, oh, yeah. And that is so hilarious to me, man. I'm like, look at Analyst. I know he's disagreeing with Matt right now. But so let's talk more about our youngest in charge here, Analyst. So let me ask you this. Are you born and raised in Georgia?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised in Georgia. I guess you could say the suburbs. I don't live directly in Atlanta. I'm about an hour like southeast of Atlanta. But yeah, I'm born and raised in Georgia. This is basically, all I know. I guess you could say.
You are only 6.
I'm young, but this is so far.
Yeah, yes, obviously. So okay.
Something I did not know about you is that you were born in Virginia.
Yeah. I'm born and raised in Virginia, man. Never lived in Georgia. I just visit. You know what I'm saying?
Come on out here
well, I'll be back out there. I'll be back out there in October because I got to do I got a half marathon to run out there.
Okay.
Beginning of October. So I'll be back out there October. I'm gonna just miss, but I'm gonna come back out there again because we're gonna organize We Talk Hawks with the homies, New Pack City. We're gonna go. Remember, you was in here when we was talking about getting the getting a suite for one of the obviously we're gonna get it for one of the losing teams that come to town. So we ain't paying no premium prices, but yeah, I'm gonna be out there in October, but then I'm gonna swing back out there because that's the plan right now. But so talk to me, Analyst. So tell me and everybody out there, like, as a current coach on a current coaching staff, so when you watching the games, what do you think you see different compared to somebody like me who I always let y'all know I'm not a coach. I'm just a fan of basketball. So obviously, people like you, Foot. I'm a put Matt in there because he claimed he coached. I think I got a fact check, hashtag fact check Matt. What do you think you see differently from watching the Hawks play compared to say somebody like me who's just a fan of the game? No, you say something now. What'd you do, analyst? You muted yourself and then
Okay, can you hear me?
yeah.
All right, my bad. It's weird microphone. So, I would honestly say the only thing, it's not like some huge drastic difference in my opinion. I just,
Mhm.
I'm into the game as a coach. I cannot sit down watching any game of that matter, But
Mhm.
I would say the only thing is, and I guess you could kind of say, we talk about Nate and stuff. Understanding the impact that coaching has, like, yes, these dudes are professionals, absolutely, but also understanding that, okay, I'm seeing this and this and this at some point, I'm reflecting on my, if this was happening in my situation, I've got to reflect on myself and say, I have got to do this better, right? And I've got to do that better. So for instance, like the fact that we cannot inbound the ball, that's like crazy to me.
Right.
And we would be working on that in practice. It may sound silly, but you got to work on stuff like that. Like that, so like that can come back to hurt you. Moving without the ball, different stuff like that. And also just I wouldn't say that it's everything, but
Mhm.
also understanding that NBA players say it, a coach cannot give you confidence, but they can take your
Correct.
confidence.
Yep.
Like you have a whole bunch of self-motivated guys. I think that's all across the board, high school, college, NBA level. Everyone's playing for something. On the NBA level, you're playing whether it's for your pride or whether you want to win a championship or whether you want to get another contract or whether you just want to, stat pad in some way. Or in college, you're trying to make it to that next level. High school, you're trying to get to college. You're trying to, in some situations, you're trying to get a scholarship so it can be easier on your family. So the motivation part is not usually an issue. Now, when it comes to the confidence thing, like with the younger players like JJ, JJ is different. I think it's important, to be able to, from a coach's perspective, I'm looking at it from, okay, I got to put my arm around JJ a little bit. I got to get on him, but I got to keep his spirits high,
Mhm.
because I can tell he kind of gets down a little bit. So it's different stuff like that as a coach I'm looking at, and I'm thinking like, okay, I'm looking at the game, but I'm looking at your body language. I'm looking at you dropping your head. I'm looking at, you just made a bad play. All right, no, move on. We'll address that later.
Well, let
So
me
it's,
ask you
it's
this,
different stuff
analyst.
like that.
Let me ask you this: as a coach, and oh yeah, this is good. This is good right here. As a coach, and being so young, right? Also, talking to your dad and hearing what he has to say about when he played, right? Because yeah, your dad probably older than me, probably about a couple years. Yeah, because Foot older than me, probably.
Yeah.
I think Foot older than me about 8 years. I think.
How, how, how old are you?
I'm 46.
Okay, yeah, my dad about 5 years older than you.
Okay, so I'm sure your dad probably has told you, and the older coaches that you coach with probably told you, hey, back in my time, we coach like this because the players were mentally tougher back then. What do you see as a young coach coaching players your age, not your age, but in your generation? Do you see to where you have to be a little bit more kind of, you got to kind of pull back a little bit? Uh, Obviously, well, I know you're a Christian guy, so that you ain't out there like mother effer, blah, 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 blah. But as far as that, because that's what I be doing. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's what I did in the army. That's how I talked to them. But do you feel with coaching players of your generation that you've got to find yourself, what, I can't be too hard on these guys because maybe they're not uh as tough mentally as, say, when my dad played and guys his age? Do you think is that an issue when you out there coaching these younger guys?
No, not really, honestly. I think I'm more of Okay, I'm gonna use an interesting term here. I'm more of the HDMI cord, if that makes sense. Like I'm more of the connector. Because like these, like most of these dudes are either a year older than me or the same age, or maybe a little, some who are seniors or 2 years older than me. So I'm kind of like, okay, I can kind of talk your language.
Right.
I know. Yeah, I guess you could say that because I know what you're feeling. I know how sometimes the old school ways, I'm not disagreeing with it, but I'm trying to get you to understand what the coaches are saying or what the other coaches are saying. I'm trying to break it down either in a different way. Or I'm trying to sell it to you. So I guess you could say that. I wouldn't say it's harder, it's kind of easier, especially if you're cool with a lot of the guys, but also just understanding. Well, once you build that personal relationship with them, whether it's just, spending one-on-one time, helping them train, different stuff like that, they hear things from you a lot easier. It can, if you're like, let's say someone like your age or a little older or a little younger, they may take it similar, but it's still not like if you spent that one-on-one time with them versus if I spent that one-on-one time with them, they kind of hear it from me a little bit better. So I think that that's a big asset, to understanding, especially the buy-in to what the coaches are saying.
Okay.
Because like I said,
But I just said that. You know what?
I-
You know what, man? That's how I know I'm brilliant. Okay. I know I'm brilliant because I just told Matt that earlier today that I believe that coaching, I think more important when you're coaching is not the X's and O's, because let's be real, if you're coaching at any level, especially high school and above, and you getting paid to do it, you obviously know the basics, X's and O's. I mean, it's only so. It's just like I tell people with weightlifting and bodybuilding, you can only. I mean, if you're doing the same exercises at the end of the day, you may be tweaking something here, but it's basically the same exercise. It's not too many. Nobody in pro sports or high school at any level, I would think, is running anything a seasoned coach hasn't already seen. You feel me? So the X and O part is good, but I like I told Matt, I said I think in these times, are you a good communicator?
Right.
Because I can I can have all the knowledge up here. Can I relay it to you to where you understand, not just understand it, but understand how I see it? Because I'm seeing the play in my head. I already see how I want it run. Not how you want it run, but how I want it run. Can I relay that to the player? He understands it, can go out and execute how I want it. Obviously, you're going to practice it, and that's what I was telling Matt today. I said, I think being a communicator, how does that affect our Hawks? Well, we saw with John Collins when he talked about Nate McMillan getting fired. He said he think Nate McMillan is better for a veteran team.
Yeah.
He said they didn't meet his expectations mentally and physically. So that just goes to show that, not that I don't think Nate McMillan was a bad coach. I think he was maybe a little too little. I don't want to say he was older. I would say maybe his ways of communicating was not effective for John Collins, Trae Young, because at the end of the day, all them dudes is under 25. You know what I'm saying? So thanks for proving me right, Analyst. I appreciate that. I need to let Matt know that once again. By the way, like I told Matt, I'm on this show, family. If y'all didn't know, on this show, I'm about 99.9% correct. Analysts can vouch for that. But
oh man, I was laughing so hard when I was watching yours. I was like, brother, man,
you mute yourself, Analyst. You on mute. Are you good? No, can't hear you.
I don't know why I do that.
There you go.
I haven't been on here in a while, so that's probably what it is.
I know.
Yeah, I need to get back on.
out there
Yeah.
coaching up the boys. What you were saying? You said you saw mine.
Man, I saw yours. I was laughing so much. I was looking at the live chat. I was like, man, I wish I was in this live chat. I could say some stuff, but no, it was hilarious. But no, it was really good. Learning some different things, but also just kind of getting some more insight on some of the takes you may make on here, so or how you may feel about certain things, or how certain people may feel about certain things, and why they attack certain things from a certain angle, so just getting more understanding on that. But yeah, I got to get on here back to what I was doing, but I'm looking over there at my calendar. It's full now. We got practice, just trying to get ready for the season coming up. So
well, that's good. We need you to keep doing that, man. Because like I told, I think I told Mike, I said, because when you make it big, when analysts out there coach somewhere, I'm like, yo, analysts, and we need to get the inside. We need something. Man, what's up? But hey, because it's like I told people, like if y'all didn't know, Analyst also has his own YouTube channel. So make sure y'all stop over there, subscribe if you haven't. It's Atlanta Analyst on YouTube. Make sure y'all tap in because you never know what some of these young guys gonna be. If y'all didn't know, like Analyst is 16, Mikey just graduated college, so he's like 23, 24. So you never know what fellow fans is going to be, and you never know because one of these dudes could, I don't know, be a lawyer, be a president, but guess what? You're always going to be like, I know that dude from Utah. Yeah. And guess what? Some of them people where people like me, I don't forget a lot of stuff. So Analyst could be a coach in the NBA, and I'll bring some shit back up from Utah Hawks TV. And remember when you was 10 years ago, and you said we was gonna do this? What happened? I'm the type to bring that stuff up. But
man, it would be amazing in a couple years if I was coaching the Hawks. I would coach with so much emotion and passion.
You couldn't coach. You couldn't coach the Hawks, man. It's like I said on my Analyst. Like I said on mine, like. I would love to have media access, but I can't.
Oh yeah, you can't do it for the Hawks.
I can't do it for the Hawks, bro. Cause I get one question out, and that's probably the last one they ever let me ask. Cause it depends. Did we win the game, I'm cool. If we lost, yeah, they probably gonna throw me out. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's get back on Analyst. So we know where you're from. We know what you're currently doing. Where do you see yourself as far as basketball? In sports, right? Where you see yourself, let's say, let's say when you graduate college, say you go to college, you graduate. Where do you see yourself at that time?
That's a good question. Boy, I feel like I'm having a conversation with my parents right now.
You're fresh out of school. You're fresh out of school. Okay, let's make it simple. Let's make it simpler. Where do you see yourself? I don't want to word it like that. What would you like to be doing by the time you graduate out of high school?
Okay. A couple things. Definitely want to be an entrepreneur. Okay. So I want to have at least one business going that's pretty fluent and efficient. But the goal is multiple, but pretty. I want to be an entrepreneur of have something. My dad and my brothers, they're into like the real estate stuff, and that's interesting to me. But I'll just stick to more the entrepreneur side. I have their full support on that.
Do you want to do some entrepreneur as far as in sports? So maybe like maybe not coaching for like a high school, but maybe building something off of like the AAU circuit, because I know there's money in there. You know what I'm saying? As far as coaching, as far as because like my son, I see my youngest, he got a trainer he go to. twice a week.
Okay. Yeah.
You see yourself. So when you say entrepreneur, you talk about that's something you want to do outside, that's not sports related.
So it can be not sports related. There's not a. I mean, there's a few things outside of sports, but I'm gonna be honest. Outside of sports, I'm really. As you say, Damon, I guess I'm a Christian and I'm an uncle outside of sports. Outside of sports, so I love sports. So no, actually, that's a really good idea. To do something like train people of all age groups, and eventually get to a point where even though I love it, eventually get to a point where I can kind of either expand out to employees to do that, or hire trainers to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have to do anything but manage it,
Right.
or maybe if it just so happens to continue, I can kind of pass it down generation to generation, and it can be something like that. But outside of go ahead.
So when I was talking to Matt said when he was younger, he was thinking about going down that coaching avenue. Make a long story short, Matt basically was like, hey, I need to make money. And sitting at the end as a graduate assistant, I don't think they get paid. He said, and then you got starting at the bottom. Is that something you willing to go through? Is coaching? Let me word it like this. Right now, is coaching your passion to where you're like, you know what, I want to do this for a living? And luckily you're young, because you can always just change your mind and it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like me. You can't be 46 and be like, you know what? I want to be an NBA ball player. Too late. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah, I really love it. I think, if I had to go through like that whole process, being a graduate assistant, kind of working my way up, not to boast or wear a prideful, but I think I'm about the game. I think I'm kind of smart enough. Okay, you talk to enough people, they'd be like, okay, he really knows the game. He's doing stuff that a lot of people aren't doing, analyzing different stuff that a lot of people aren't looking at. And I think I could kind of, not really jump any steps, but kind of go through the steps, swiftly, and it happens with certain people, getting up to the point where, okay, you get an opportunity to move up, on the bench in college. Okay, now you're getting an opportunity, maybe not at a Division I college, maybe at a Division II college, you can go be a head basketball coach. You do a really good job there. You can move up into Division I, or you could get an opportunity to be a film and a film analyst, or sit behind the bench, for an NBA or a G League team.
saying?
So I see the path, I see the vision. Obviously, I would love to coach in the NBA, but I think college as well. That's a really good place to be. You get control of your own team. But yeah, I can definitely see that being something I want to do in the future, long term.
I hope you make as an NBA coach, because then you could be our Aaron Rodgers. I'll be Pat McAfee. I'd be like, hey, yo, Aaron knows how to come in here and make a decision what team he going to, what team he finna coach.
Yeah.
Who he finna cut. We're going to hear it first here when we talk Hawks.
But, yeah, you're gonna hear it first in that group chat.
So now let's veer off. Let's talk some Hawks. Give me your end of the year. I mean, our season been over for about a month now.
Yeah.
Give me your real thoughts about last season.
Okay. Yeah.
First, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
What was your expectations of the Hawks after we acquired DeJounte Murray? What was your expectations for the season? And then give us your recap of what actually happened.
Man, listen, I was up here with the rest of you. I was
Drinking that
thinking,
Kool-Aid, huh?
I was drinking that. Hey, listen, I was sitting up here like, hey, bro, you know, we we may go to the finals. You know, we may go to the finals. We may win this championship. You know, hey, the DeJounte Murray, what? You know, you look, oh man, like we ain't got to work. And then I was thinking, okay, I was like, realistically, if we got to the conference finals, you know, not a year ago at that time, not or just out a year ago, I'm thinking we should at least be able to make the finals, you know. So I was thinking, I was like with Trey and Murray and Hunter, and then I still have faith in Collins. I was like Collins and Capella. I was like, man, we got a squad, you know. We got Bogey, and then you know we got the Holiday Bros. We could be playing some defense, and I was like, okay. I was like, so I'm be honest, I had expectations to go into the finals. Now we lost in the first round, playing team 41-41. So I think overall this was a disappointing season. I could say whatever towards the end with Quinn or whatever, but I think overall, kind of no matter how you cut it, it's a disappointing season by a long shot. Now, as far as realistic goals, you know, we were probably, you know, maybe we would have probably maxed out as a second round team. Maybe if we would have gotten lucky, an Eastern Conference Finals team, we still fell short. You know, we lost in the first round last year. Now, you know, granted, we played against a better team this year, and you know, we just been inconsistent all year long. But we played against a better team this year than last year, and we got one more extra game. But you don't expect to use 3 first-round picks and a pick swap and go out and acquire an all-star guard to put in the backcourt with Trae Young and still losing the same round you did last year, which is the first round. So, in that aspect, disappointing for sure.
Now, so what's your expectations for the Hawks? Quinn's going to get his first full off-season, preseason. With the roster currently constructed, because we all know it's some moves going to be made. We just don't know what. What is your expectations of the Hawks based off of just adding Quinn Snyder and him getting a full off-season with the team? What's your expectations? Or what are your expectations? And I mean, yeah, we can all have expectations. Then what you think gonna happen?
So I will start with my expectations first. Going into the next season, I intend to start off on the stat side first. I intend our defense to improve, regardless of Quinn being an offensive driven head coach. I got to go back and look at the history, and the history says that wherever Quinn Snyder's been, which has been Utah, that his defense has at least been top 10. At some cases, it was top 3, but his defense has at least been top 10. I'm not saying we're going to be top 10, but our defense will make a drastic jump. I know you talked about if our defense could just get top 15, you know, we will be a much better team. So I definitely expect our defense to get better, but also I expect us to win between 48 to 52 games. I'm not gonna say nothing crazy like 60, but I do expect us to take that jump, you know, to kind of compare it. I expect us to maybe have like a Cleveland or New York type regular season where we're, you know, up there as one of the competitive teams. But as far as like the playoffs and stuff with Quinn, you know, it's gonna sound ironic because he hasn't gotten out of this round. But if I'm being truthful and honest, if I'm thinking about, all right, we may just move John Collins, right? And we may bring something back, you know, as whatever. We may make, you know, a couple minimum signings, you know, like we always do. I'm gonna say I intend us to be in a very competitive second round against, you know, either the 1 or the 2 seed. Now I'm not going to take it too fast. I'm not going to say we're going to go to the conference finals. I'm going to say if we can make those improvements in the regular season, get to the second round, I think that's showing major progress and that we can build something sustainable here. And then also, you know, and maybe the year after that, I think we can go to the finals the year after that, but I think as of next season, now we make some big move, that could change. But as of right now, I'm gonna say I'm not gonna go too high, but I'm not gonna go too low. I think a 50 win season or 50 or 49 win season, have home court advantage in the playoffs, and we can at least get to the second round and be competitive. I won't be upset.
Well, let me tell you something, Analyst.
I know you got a lot less patience than me, but I want to win now, but
I mean, I agree with you. The second round, but you know what I'm about to add? I'm gonna add this about the second round. Probably not gonna get past it because the coach can't get past the second round. Am I right or wrong? Because he's never been past the second round, even with his teams. He had 1 year Utah was ranked top 5 and top 10 defensively and offensively.
Yeah, that was that year they were first in offense, second in defense.
I think they had a 3-1 lead on somebody. Tricked it off. I'm just putting that out there, man, because people like to bring up, the old coach who shall be, remain nameless. Just putting that out there. They like to bring up his past. So I'm just a little refresher because you seem real positive. You know what I'm saying?
Fresh start.
You already know what I think. I'm gonna say it again. We're gonna get below the cap and we're gonna run it back with whoever we didn't trade. I hope Quinn does a good job, because I'm all about wins or losses. But so that's all I got there, young analyst. So final word is yours, man. You got anything you want to add? Any shout outs or anything?
Listen, shout out to you and the rest of the panel because I hadn't been on here since we reached 1,000 subscribers. So a big thank you to everyone, all the supporters in the chat, the guys, the people that don't type in the chat, people that just watch and support the channel. Our fellow content creators from other teams. We taught Maz, Rel, and King over there, and
Freezy.
Yeah, for Freezy, and just everyone supporting that push to get us to the first milestone to get into the 1,000 subscribers. So again, a big thank you to all of y'all, and salute to everyone on the panel who makes it a joy to come on every night. You gonna come up here and laugh and have a good time every night. So salute to all you guys.
We're still waiting to get that. We're still waiting to get that Analyst versus Kareem show going on.
Hey, listen, man, if y'all get that, Damon, since we reached 1,000 subscribers, we may have to do like a members only. That's gotta be a members only. If we do that, that's gotta be a members only.
Hey, y'all gotta see it, man. Y'all gotta just see. Analyst could just be talking, and he see that name Kareem pop up.
Because I know it's some ridiculousness coming behind. I know it's some ridiculousness coming behind it, and I'm just like, Kareem, don't you
shout out my guy Kareem. Analyst will be talking, and sometimes he won't see what Kareem says. So y'all know me, I'm an instigator. So I'll throw Kareem's comment on the screen. When analysts see anything by Kareem, he stops in mid-sentence to address Kareem. He'll read it, and then you could tell he want to keep talking, but he can't help himself. He'd be like, guys, hold up. Let me get on Kareem. Let me speak on Kareem real quick. So we definitely got to get a Kareem answer because I know that's gonna be hilarious. Yeah. Good old Kareem, boy. Good old Kareem. My bad. Go ahead, finish, Analyst, and we can wrap it up.
But no, man, I'm just I'm proud. Man, it was just so much growth made on this channel to me, and it seemed like a long time, but in such little time. So, like I said, salute to everyone. And listen, if I'm not on, y'all know what I'm doing. I'm either coaching, I'm being an uncle or I'm being a Christian, So, well, I try to say I'm a Christian all the time, but getting on this show, I don't know sometimes, I'll be like, Lord help me.
You lose your cool up here, don't I?
But man, Lord,
we can eat it up here sometimes, man. That's why That's why I be in the garage, man. So I felt like I got to go in the garage before the show, because I be so, and I know I'm gonna let whoever disagree or not, I'm gonna let them have it. But luckily, the garage calms me down, and I come down like a couple levels by the time the show start, so I don't be too turned up. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say this: salute to my guy Analyst. As the founder of this channel, I want to say I appreciate you. You know, you the very first person that ever come on this show. And that's and I consider you you the original day one, you know, and that's why if y'all didn't know, like, Analyst does have access to the channel, so like when he want to do a show, he could just do the shit on his own. But it just goes to show what we get now. How can I say this? It hit different, right? When this season was ending playoffs, and we have our post game live show, and it's to the point to where like people can't even get in, you know. And every time somebody tell me that, I think about Analysts, because it was just me, then it was just me and it'd be like 5 people in the chat, and we didn't even care because we were just going back and forth anyway. You know, me and Analyst, usually it's me complaining, and Analyst be trying to give me. He be trying to be the civil guy and the X and O, but I don't really hear that shit at the time. You know, so I want to thank you, Analyst, for coming on the show. And it just goes to show, guys, you know what, over here, you know, and you know, I say it all the time, you know, I don't consider this a podcast, man. I consider this an interactive fan channel. And you know, this channel, you know, it ain't nothing without, you know, the panel. It's not, it ain't nothing without the chat. Because like I say, I'm sure y'all don't want to just come up here and just hear my take. And then I'm sure y'all just don't want to hear me and Analysts all the time saying what we think, what we should do. You know, we enjoy everybody coming on. It's so much, like Anna said, it's hilarious, man. It's fun. You know, actually, I ain't gonna front. I be living for them post-game lives, man. Because I know people gonna come up here. I done been in full-blown arguments. Somebody was in an argument one time. I can't remember. I had to come and stop. I had to intervene, man.
Yeah. Hey, I've been wanting to see it sometimes. I've been like, go ahead.
My guy Analyst, let me tell you something. My guy Analyst, hey, well, I'm sure y'all know now. Analyst be holding me down because it's been plenty of times I done fell asleep.
Hey, bro, that'd be hilarious. That'd be hilarious.
It's been plenty of times I done fell asleep. It's been plenty of times to where sometimes I'm not even in the garage, man, you know, because I'm married and I got my own family. And it's sometimes when the games be late and I be tired and the Analysts be like, yo, I got it. Go ahead. Don't worry about it. So salute to my guy, Analyst. You know what I'm saying? And we just going to continue to, you know, grow the channel. And like I said, and shout out to everybody out there. Like Analysts say, we hit 1,000 subs. You know, when it was just me and Analysts, I think the channel had already had like 140 subscribers at the time. So like I tell y'all, when I say Analyst is a day one Analyst, day one chat guys, Jordan, because I didn't even know Jordan had been in that long till I went back one time. I'm like, good grief. I didn't know Jordan. Drummer Boy, wherever he at, salute to him. Dave, salute to him. Those are and them Raptor, the Miami Heat fan, because y'all was on our ass back then. Because that's right.
Because those are the 2 teams we couldn't beat.
Yeah, and that's when we started doing it consistently after every game and stuff. So, and we just happened to play Toronto, the Heat. So, and that's why I be telling people when they see them Heat fans in there, or Raj and the rest of the Raptors, like they've been in here from jump. So you know, me and Analysts, we always got love for them. Shout out to my boy Jordan, because he gives us that an outsider look at the Hawks. You know,
absolutely. Yeah.
Sometimes we agree. You know, sometimes I'll sit here and I'll be thinking I wish Jordan to shut up. But but that's my guy because he's a day one. You know, he's a day one homie. So you know, I tolerate my guy Jordan. Shout out Jordan. We need to get Jordan up here too, man. Because I ain't seen him in a minute since the Raptors season ended. I ain't my guy been down for a minute. Salute my guy
Hey,
Jordan.
hey, somebody better go check on Jordan. No, I was talking to Jordan. I was talking to Jordan. He was just like, bro, he was so sad when the Raptors lost. I texted. I was like, Jordan, what happened to your boys, man? He was like, he called me. He was like, Analyst, I'm on suicide watch right now. He was like, these dudes are terrible. I was like, oh, Jordan, what's going on? He ranted for like a whole 2 hours, and I was just listening.
Hey, that's how I go up here. That's what we do up here. Rant.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Passionate.
Yeah.
And sometimes there's so much passion, like on the panel. It's like everyone kind of like going at each other. It's so much passion.
Yeah. It's what's funny. It's funny how we'll sit up here, and that's what's crazy about sports when you think about it. Like, you look at us, right? On just on this channel, we'll have 10 people up here. You got the chat, and we be disagreeing about how to get to the same goal. Like, that's every time I think about that, I'll be like, that's hilarious. Like,
yeah,
you're wrong. But at the end of the day, we all want the same goal for the Hawks to win, hopefully win a championship. I mean, at this point, I just take going to the finals. Even if we lose, I just take that because we ain't done that in Atlanta. So, but we all want to see the same thing. But go ahead and wrap it up, Adam. You got anything else you want to add, my guy?
No, I mean, I appreciate you. And although it's been a long journey. This is just the beginning, of this channel continuing to take off, And I'll say this, it may seem silly, but if you think anything is impossible, you don't want to pursue a dream, just look at the channel. It was at a point, I went back and watched, the Mon doing his military videos and his videos from the military, different stuff like that. And I just watched how it grew and how so many people have a desire to come on for different reasons, but have a desire to come on and share their thoughts and just share a panel. I think it's a testament to the people that are on here. But yeah, I mean, just look at it. I mean, like it's hard to grow on YouTube. It really is. You got to be consistent. You got to be, you got to be authentic. You got to be passionate, and that's everything that we are. So,
exactly.
But it's incredibly hard, but it's not impossible.
And with that, we're gonna end it with that, man. So I'm going to play this. My guy answer. I got to play the old intro as the outro. So
yeah,
make sure you tap in. Like what we got coming up this week. Monday finals is on night. Monday is going to either be Monday or Tuesday. I'm gonna be up here, guys. We're gonna talk about Trey Young's podcast. What was people's thoughts about his first podcast? So make sure y'all listen to his podcast. So when we do the show, y'all can come up here and check it out. It might be Wednesday. I don't know. Depends on what I got going on. And we got some other stuff coming up. We got the draft coming up. We got summer league coming up. So we definitely gonna get definitely gonna do shows about that and speak on that. Then we're gonna lead into free agency. Next thing you know, guys, it's gonna be September training camp, and we right back at it with these damn post game live. So we're gonna still try to do the morning show, but I'm still trying to figure out my schedule. Also, I won't be doing anything from Thursday to Sunday because I will be out of town. I ain't gonna have my I'm gonna be in Mexico, so I don't know how the internet is out there. So I won't be doing nothing from Thursday to Sunday. So just so y'all know if y'all don't see no content up here. But and on that note, guys, we're going to go ahead and end it. I appreciate my guy, Young Analyst, the youngest in charge up in the building.
Appreciate it.
We talk Hawks TV, baby, and we up out of here. Peace.